Hello, everyone. Hey, guys. Welcome. In a sec here, we get started. All right, good afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everybody is healthy and well. And hope you all had a good holiday. And I will say, all of us, miss Ozzy. Happy birthday to... would have been Ozzy Osbourne's birthday today. So I'll just say that. Well, we miss you, Ozzy, and happy birthday. With that being said, all right. So let's continue on. And obviously, as you guys know, this is my main character here. So not a whole lot to do on this guy, but you know, material farming and stuff like that, I can always continue that. So I'm probably just going to do a couple things and then perhaps switch to a different character. But, you know, for now, we'll just see what I have to do here. Just going to look around here a little bit. You know, let's go to the castle. And just head on over there. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Oh, this is not the castle. That's the castle. Alright, so actually let's make it daytime. Unless it was already almost daytime. No, it is now daytime. Now we got it. Okay. I think we need a reflections update. Not for this game, for graphics. I'm just gonna stroll around a little bit. So
Dragon scale kills.
I remember
You're just jealous because you wouldn't come within a mile of a horn tail if a Triwizard Cup was in it for you.
That is completely correct.
I remember I remember last time I actually was playing some of my other characters quite a bit, and I just enjoying going through the game again, even though, you know, even though I've played it already. It actually is nice to play it through again. It's actually one of those games where it kind of surprises me. It kind of surprises me with, you know, replay value and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of games, I think struggle with that where, you know, you once you play through it, it's like, okay, now I'm done. That like, now what? You know. Obviously we know Elden Ring can handle that really well, but this game holds its own too with replayability. So yeah, I'm just gonna stroll around a little bit, and again, this is 100%. This character is 100%. Challenges, right? Challenges. Yeah, there we go. 100%. So with him, there's not going to be a whole lot that I can really do. I've already done it all. But I can do extra stuff. I can do material farming. I can do. There's also I can do some combat a little bit. I just want to stroll around. There's also plenty of like extra combat after you finish the game. So like any of these places here, enemies respawn. You know, anything that you see that we do that has enemies or whatever, you can just come back and do it again. So you could free roam the map, and that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk around, but I just sort of started in the castle. So we'll head on out probably and do a little bit of free roam, but you know, I do probably want to play another one of my my characters, because this is Ravenclaw. So this is my Ravenclaw character. That's my main, and I would like to at least play just one of the other. You know, I mean, I really do enjoy what they're doing with each house, and seeing the common rooms and stuff. So honestly, truthfully, it is actually fun to play each of them. So I'm having a hard time deciding which I want to play at the time. But I'm glad I picked Ravenclaw for my first choice. It's definitely I think it's what the hat would I think it's what the hat would be like, yep. But remember, it considers your choice. So my first, you know, like obviously I'd probably, you know, maybe that and probably Gryffindor, but doesn't mean I don't like the other ones. The castle. The library. The library. There's really nothing in here that I have yet to do either. There really isn't. Yeah. And as you guys know, I'm wearing house robes here. These are Ravenclaw house robes. It'll take a while to get. Take a while. And I can change that, you know, at any time. Just sit here and change that stuff, so you can always mess around with that too, if that's your fancy. I personally just enjoy the game. Enjoy like just playing it, you know, just in general. The house robes look cool enough, so you know, I just use that. Yeah, I think there needs to be. This isn't, because that's weird. And that's not the game. That didn't look like that even last time we played. So like those are the issues. I'm sure you're wondering about the issues today. It looked like there was a little bit of weirdness. That's just a graphics driver update. That's not the game. It happens. It's reflections. The reflection texture isn't loading properly, that's all. And that'll actually bog down performance too, because it knows it's not. So it's just like trying to. So like you saw it there too. There it was too. There it was again. On the other one. The one that's like to the left of his head. It's like a pixel reflection. It's funny. I wonder if somebody just changed my settings. Hold on. I wonder if settings is defaulted. Huh? Sometimes that happens. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. Hold on. Yeah, they just defaulted some settings. Oh my god. This is so annoying. Isn't that stupid? Isn't that stupid? It's so dumb. Ugh. Give me a sec. I'll try to not take forever to do this. We're good. We're good. It still might be weird because I didn't restart. Frame generation was on again. Like they just defaulted frame generation. That's oh, you know who that is. That's good old Microsoft. And they want to do these things. Like they want to mess it all up. It looked like crap until I did that. They're trying to make me talk bad about, you know who. It looks fine now. Now the reflections are still gonna look bad. See that? But that's because I didn't restart. Like, literally, they're probably just gonna look like that now. Until I restart. Like, they very well might even look like that after that. Because this will, like, kind of, like, bog down, mess up the game a little bit. Hold on. No, really, like, Windows is like that, seriously. What, sometimes you turn frame generation on, it's stuck on the hardware level. It's so annoying. You have to... Here we go. Let me fix this. There's some other stuff on. Yeah, it flat out defaulted. This is so stupid. Why does it do this? Why does Windows do this? All of my settings were defaulted. There's so many other settings that were defaulted too. Hold on. Okay. It's better. Don't need that. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yep. There we go. I got it. I got it back. Let me see if the reflections are back. If not, we'll restart. My fault. I mean, I can tell it looks better already. I'm just trying to figure out if the reflections... Like, it's not even happening now, so... I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Like, if you look at the floor is not, like, all pixelated and... So, like, literally, they just defaulted my settings. Like, why are they doing this crap? And remember, this is after coming off a stream where I talked... I pointed out who exactly was doing this through Microsoft credentials. Like, I already pointed that out. And right after pointing this out, I come and I play, again, of course, Hogwarts Legacy of all things, and it's just completely defaulted to these... Remember that one day that I was having issues with the settings? It was literally on all those settings that were causing problems and stuff. So remember, I told you, they're just, like, watching the streams and trying to make certain things happen. So if I sit here and I talk about certain things, they just do that to the game or something like that. But again, it's through... They're just doing it through Windows. I'm gonna get coffee. Sorry. So I can restart it, I honestly don't think I need to. I mean, I'm sure it'll be better if I did, but... Yeah, like some of these textures obviously are a little goofy, they're not loading right, but that's not that big I don't really care about that. If I restarted, it would be fine, though. That's just all it is, it's just... Yeah, so somebody defaulted again. It's so crazy. And I know it's not, like, alright, you have to understand something. Here's what you're gonna say. Here's what you're gonna say. This happened before when you were playing and you were complained about this defaulting settings on this game and blah blah blah. I know. I'm sure I did. What you have to understand is the people doing this that are designing this scam to specifically cause this outcome for people to see it this way, to, you know, I mean, it's working in the market, so they're going to keep doing it. And if it properly destroys like an entire you know, competitor that they want, you know, that to do that, then of course they're going to keep doing it. So you have to understand that if this person is taking a list of things from, you know, notes of streams of things that have happened to me and stuff like that, you know, like all I have to do is talk about, all right, so it, you know, this causes a problem, or this so they just start writing down a list of things from those streams, and then just cause those parameters next time I would launch the game, or, you know, whatever it is I'm using, you know, whether it just be the stream software or whatever it is we're talking about. That's all. Like, it's just that. And it's through the stuff that's always connected. So, if they can mess stuff up with the OneDrive, if they can mess stuff up with Cortana, if they can mess stuff up with name some Windows 11 services that were not even in 10. Like, there's like a bajillion of them, and they run all the time, and they're always on internet services. Like, all right, just like all the other stuff that's happening where you get DDoS or something's going on. Sorry, that was funny. Something is going on where, you know, it's obviously from a malicious attack, and you unplug the Ethernet cable or you sever the internet connection and it immediately stops. You know what you're dealing with, okay? This is the same stuff I talked about with the Series X that was happening a while back. If I can boot Windows 11 every single time, and remember we talked about this before where I had like these series of issues where I couldn't even get the thing to let me log in, I couldn't get my keyboard to work, my mouse to work sometimes with the again, it just would not make the screen go away to type the password. And then so all these different things, and I start rationalizing all these systems that it's starting up doesn't need to as well. And I don't have bloatware. I do a pretty good job of that. So no lie, I few times I just experimented, literally booted the system up without the Ethernet cable plugged in, and sure enough, instant boot, none of those problems whatsoever when not connected to the internet. Like, just instantly. And everything was smooth, everything worked. What the heck? So, again, you know what you're dealing with. If you live in America, and again, there should be protections, and so who is doing that then? If we have protections, we live in America, the greatest country on earth, and there's something happening that's doing that, what? Tell me, with all of your great minds, all of you expert voters out there, please tell me, educate me, enlighten me. What do you think is happening? What genius rebuttal do you have? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be political about this. I'm just trying to say, as logically as I can, when I live in America, the greatest country in it's not. Truthfully, I'm really not being sarcastic here. I'm being actually honest. If I live in the greatest country on earth, the United States, and this is actually happening, I really want you guys to actually think about this to yourselves. You know, just not sarcasm. Really, truthfully, please just think about it. The amount of time this has been happening, stuff like this, we've been talking about this. It gets worse. It's not just me talking about it, everybody's talking about it. And it's internet connections. So I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. I'm just saying you have to do something about it. That's all. Like that's all. That's all. Like again, if you expect that people, terrorists, scammers, and all these people that, again, half the world exists in 2 countries, and a good bit of those countries have a good bit of scams going on, and again, one of them is annihilating people, like mass genocide and stuff, and then the other one, oh God, we shouldn't even go there. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see. Okay. Can we just get past the point where we should have been doing things about this already, and always on internet connection shouldn't cause these issues? Remember when I hosted a private game? I was playing Warcraft 3 Reforged. Remember this? I hosted a private game.
It's a relief to find
Like a LAN game. It was not a private. Nobody can join this.
There's only so much one
Private.
brackets here, Tails.
Now this I used Gemini before, but I think Gemini, they're gonna back me up. Anybody would back me up on this. This was accurate. You know, it was like, you know, I was like, can anybody, and again, I already knew the answer, but it backed me up. Can anybody join a private game? You know, again, it's just a LAN game. It's on your... No! Like, of course they can't see it. How would they know? How? That is, like, such an obvious DDoS. It's not even funny. And so many people were just joining my game. So I hosted this private game on my own LAN. And all these people were just joining it. Different language, screen names, like basically somebody had shared this as soon as I could host it. They were spam sharing it probably somewhere on some, you know. I was like, and again, Warcraft 3 Reforged, private servers. And this isn't even that long ago. We're talking what, 6 months ago, probably, something like that. And stuff like this is only getting worse. Where I start up a game and all my settings are... You know, nothing happened, nothing changed. I didn't do anything different. But all my settings are defaulted. That just doesn't... It doesn't make any sense. And why are we clearly getting all these views right now? You know, I know we're getting... I know it's view bots. I know that somebody's view botting me as we get trending to mask how much... I gotta understand that. They're masking how much trending we're getting. But what you have to realize is YouTube is mistakenly removing too many views because of this. I'm literally watching... The stream was almost at 300 views, and it's now at 77. They literally just in huge clumps just removed hundreds of views because their system is so fucking trash. Just like this, what I was talking about here, it's all automated. It's literally so trash. All these bad actors are doing, like they're literally just basic idiots. They're not even talented people. All they're doing is view botting. And YouTube is removing like legitimate views. They're just wiping all of it. Now, you see again right now there's 4,000, probably going to be 4,000 in here. And you know, you see that in your top right corner, the stream's at 36 views. 36. They just took it from the 77 I told you down to 36. I mean, this is ridiculous. So this is the always on internet bullshit. You know, you wonder why your stuff needs to update like every day. Well, you shouldn't. And it shouldn't need that either. If all this crap, again, they're necessitating the fact that you need to be always connected. You know, they're necessitating this. But you don't. They're necessitating this out of the fact that you need this because, you know, all these problems won't happen. But they're spying on you to make it happen. Don't you see? You're all using ad blockers. You're all using cookie removers, tracker removers, VPNs. And they're literally attacking you. Because you're legally allowed to do that. But they're just attacking you because, you know, you're watching YouTube and you're using one. So they're removing all these views. I'm serious. I am dead serious. They're counting views for people that have YouTube TV, premium, no ad blockers. Like, basically, that's it. That's the big secret. So, give me a sec here. One sec here. I just think it's absurd that we see all these views. It's very, very obvious. Everybody else sees them too. And, you know, YouTube's just, you know, 20 views. Like, yeah, okay. And then we're not even talking about temporarily, where it's just like, you know, removing them for like now or something like that. We're talking like, no, even after the stream, they're posting it with that, and it keeps that. So yeah, right now the stream has 12 counted views. I can see it. But it also says it has 3,733 live viewers. Like, again, these numbers on their side of things, right next to each other, says it has 12 counted views, but 3,000 live viewers and 770 or 276 likes. How does that make any sense? 276 likes, but 12 views. 12. So you know that's what they're doing here. There you go. And again, I'm seeing two different numbers. Here I'm seeing 87, and here at the top of your screen I'm seeing 70. So, like, I just watched, that said 50 and this said 70. Now it says 87, now this is 97. Like, this is the point. They're just, it's every stream. And you know, I get it that I'm getting view botted, but it's like, it's not all of them. So you see, there it is. I mean, you know what this was. You know what a lot of this is. A lot of this is people intentionally trolling my... So what they're doing is, behind the scenes, they're illegally doing all these things to cause a problem for me, while stating, oh, well, he's saying somebody's scamming him and logging into his email, so then we can't confirm it's him. So we're gonna do all these dumb fucking things where we log out of his one device and then default the settings on that same device so that we can confirm 2 points of verification. this is what they're gonna get sued for, is stuff like this. Where again, they're literally playing, making up rules to play psychological warfare with people. Now watch as these views start being removed just because I called out what YouTube is doing. Just because I accurately told you what they're doing, watch what the views do. You see how they're coming off? You see that? Or it's just dropping way down all of a sudden. Gee, I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that I'm right. And they're trying to detrend the stream to minimize how many people hear it. Just like all the other times that I've been right about the things they're doing illegally to target people. Yeah, there it is. 43. All the way down to 43. Unbelievable. There it is. So, do you have any comprehension, YouTube? Do you have any comprehension for how many lawyers are seeing this right now? Do you have any comprehension how many people are actually like firsthand seeing what's happening right now? There's no reason for any of this, except that YouTube is just retaliating based on what I just said. Just like they did last night. Or they don't like what you're saying and they just retaliate. Like, it doesn't change the fact that that stuff's happening. Yeah, that is what's happening. But YouTube's also retaliating. They're gonna detrend the stream as much as they can to try to limit, like I said, to try to minimize the amount of people that actually hear from it. And then, you know, if anybody would watch it, they actually think 24 people only watch the stream. Even though right in the top right corner of your screen, you can literally see a view count. It is an active view count. It's not fake. That is YouTube's view count. That's why there's a little YouTube symbol there. That's their own fucking thing. You know, I remember for like 4 or 5 months, one of the scamming content creators that was doing all of this stuff to my channel, I think had people convinced that there was like that like I was using like some sort of like, you know, like you know, because like Fortnite has like anti-cheat and like all these, you know, games have anti-cheat. Like, you really can't do that anymore. Like, it's like damn near impossible. Especially if you're streaming. Like, they're just gonna know. And I swear these guys, that's what they did. Like literally, it's so obvious that they're sitting here just lying to people. You know, like, there's no way he's that good or something like that in this game or something like that. And meanwhile, all they're finding out is that I just have the game installed. It's a legit version of the game. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, like, that's all they're finding out. Like, they're just doing all of this or harassing me, and then just at the end of the day, all they end up doing is logging me out of my stuff and proving that, yep, I do in fact have control of my accounts, and none of these people should be doing any of this. That's all that ends up happening. And they've been at it for years. This has been going on for like 2 years now, I think, that these guys have been like just following me around, not leaving me alone. And all because they wanted to steal every good thing I had going for my channel. Like again, that guy was just yelling at his screen, complaining and yelling and blocking everybody all the time. That's all he was doing. And then notice, like, I was not doing that, but then notice after I defend this guy and stuff like that, that slowly becomes my dynamic and not his. Where he slowly adapts what I was doing while slowly making sure it looks like, you know, just something happened here, something like that. No, he passed his ridiculous nonsense where he came onto this platform not knowing how to act onto me. Where they legitimately did take advantage of the system and legitimately did lie and just misreport and you know, the reality is I was too nice. I let things go several times. I forgave people. No, that's really what it is. I'm too nice. I didn't do anything until they were to a point where they had gone way past what you should. They had gotten personal. They were, you know, like, this became a huge matter. So, you know, obviously at that point, the dynamic's gonna change once you start involving people's, like, personal lives and other people's names and you know, like, real stuff that is illegal. That's a little bit different. Now that changes things a bit. So, yeah, that's and you know, the view count, you see where it is. You know, it was going back up again, and as soon as we continue talking about this, they're just tanking it. Just like last night when we talked about something and the bit rate starts shifting around all over the place. You know, like, the whole point is, if they didn't lie about this and actually gave me the views and trending that I am supposed to get, clearly I would have you know, I was actually getting ads. I remember a while back, a troll came in my account and they're like, "You're getting ads?" And I remember I had a lot of problems after that too, because I was getting ads on some videos. And so, like, basically, as soon as these guys found out that I already had the monetization they wanted, they made sure to try to make, you know, get me to lose it. They were sitting here and just mass reporting non-stop. Guarantee it. Well, actually, I know that for a fact, but, there's also a couple of other things that I guarantee happened too. That's more of a guarantee. It's like, because of this, I know that that's why it happened. So, I'm done seeing YouTube sit here and do stupid crap to people because they don't know what they're doing. Violating people's rights. Do you have any idea how often per day, because of the United States, do you have any idea how often just per day now people's rights are violated because of the just the message descending into our country, where we have, instead of democratic leadership, we have like a very fascist sort of trend. It just trends towards control and less free speech. Like, they're just going to try to control what people are saying, obviously. So if I'm on here telling you about all this crap, and there's people that are supposed to do something about it, and they're the people that are supposed to do something about it, and you're complaining about it, they're going to frankly do the opposite. They're going to be the people that now do the opposite. Like, they're going to become those criminals. Those people that we always, strive to fight against. Do a broom racing event. That'd be cool. I'm just gonna do it down here. Unbelievable. I'm curious about something. Hold on. Yeah, I thought so. I knew that was coming. Here, let me... Ah, good. I caught it. Okay. Yeah, this is what they've been doing. Here, let me catch this. So the one time... Oh, I won't tell you about that. That'll be later. So you guys remember the stream last night, the Elden Ring stream? You guys remember that? Not the one after that, the Elden Ring stream. So as of right before this stream, it had almost 900 views. But if you go look at it now, it says 100. If you go look at it right now. So I noticed that if I'm on stream, just like you see views come off here, views will come off another stream on my channel if I start talking about things that YouTube doesn't like. Not only will they subtract views from this stream, they will start going to another stream on my channel and subtracting views from it. And so basically, here's what they're saying. They're gonna throw all these view bots at you as long as you don't say anything else about Microsoft, Donald Trump, YouTube, all these bad things that you've been saying that are bad. We just want you to stop because, we're responsible for making it happen, and it is terrible, but we don't care. We just don't want you to say it anymore, and if you stop, we'll throw all these fake views at you. No, I don't want the fake views. I want the real ones. That's what I always said. That's what I literally started with. I started with real fucking shit, building a real platform. These assholes started with their bots. That was the whole point. And I pointed that out to them. They were the ones that used the illegal bot packages and lied about this stuff. And then YouTube attacks people that tells anybody about this. Again, it is legal for you to buy bots to lie about your views on YouTube, but you can't share the link on YouTube. That's what's illegal. You can't share the link on YouTube because it would be illegal, but you can buy bots to legally lie about views. That's what I told everybody on this platform, and they, oh my god, who? So don't give me that BS. We've known a long time why all this is happening, because all these people recognize that that just like Kennedy, I won't make a poor decision just because a bunch of people want to go to war. It's like Kennedy. The whole point is, just because a bunch of idiots want to descend into fascism and endlessly fight a war that they're not fighting, by the way, they're not fighting it, soldiers are, doesn't mean that I'm gonna make the stupid call. Sorry.
This place has seen better days.
If I wanted this little excitement, I have you! What do you think you're doing?
I was trying to target, like, Elden Ring. Oh my god.
Expelliarmus!
I was trying to, like, target
You'll have to fight!
it. It's super funny. I was like, where's my dot? Oh yeah, I'm playing Hogwarts. I'm like we're trying to get my dot to show up for the targeting. Still some of the best water in any game I've ever seen. It really is still some of the best water in any game I've ever seen. Some of the best, actually some of the best, weather effects in general. Still the best weather effects I've seen to this day, and I know it's Microsoft, but you have to give it to them. You have to. Forza Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 5. I can't even. I can't even. I just can't. I can't even. There's nothing else to say. You just can't even argue it. It's the best. Still graphically one of the best games I've ever seen, too. But the weather effects are hands down the best. Like, there's nothing else but, like, you can. You just, they do freaking dust storms and, like, hurricanes and, I mean, it is realistic, man. There's shit blowing around. And the open world map is insanely huge. So, I mean, you gotta give it to them. I mean, that was done properly. That game. Both those games, 4 and 5, are done properly. So hopefully 6 is a testament to that. Probably won't be. No, I mean, you guys know it's probably gonna be a disaster, but if it's not, it'll save the console. Of course, now that I said that, it's going to be a disaster. I just blew it. Sorry. I just blew it. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, that's all I had to say. Now a bunch of investors are going to jump on that are idiots. That's all that's going to happen.
Expelliarmus!
I'm sure it's What have you done?
It's shameful what you've done to helpless beasts. Levioso!
I mean, it's probably already open. Probably got this. Whatever this. Yeah, it's not even there, so I definitely already got it. I mean, all this stuff would have been stuff that I probably would have had to get, so. You know, if there's like some sort of collection chest in there, obviously I gotta. That's part of it. So yeah, I didn't have to reset. Graphics are good. They're not even weird. They're fine. It was just weird. Again, like, it shouldn't default like that. That's the always on internet. That's all that is. And the crazy thing is, you guys know, like, it's not always on. Like, I'm talking about, like, a device that gets shut down. When your device is shut down, like, again, like, you'd be surprised. Like, that's the point. It's not... They're doing stuff. Especially if you have Wi-Fi. That's why I always said, like, just really don't do that. Which is why they know they needed to break the devices I have that were wireless to always be on a wireless connection. Because again, I can't turn that off. I can't sever that. Because they know that I know about those things. Like, it's pretty sad when I can put my phone in a Faraday bag and still call it. That's definitive proof. I don't have some James Bond phone, okay? I have the phone that you buy at the AT&T store, okay? I don't have some James Bond phone, okay? I put my phone in a Faraday bag and I can still call it. This is a very serious matter. Somebody's doing that. Yet that seriously, you have to understand that that's exactly what they're for. They're for, like, people to go into, like, I'm not going to go into military reasons why you would have this, but you can understand. Like, the whole point is, if you got to be able to not have any wireless connections going through there, that needs to work. And those Faraday bags, they do, trust me. So the fact that somebody is engineering something to break through that is what is concerning. And I made a video about this showing the evidence. And people are just... This administration is incredibly foolish. Like, alright, for example, the guy is like 80, right? He's like 80. And he's getting all these gut MRIs and stuff like that. And everybody's like, "Oh, why is he tired? He's so tired. He's getting all these MRIs." Are you kidding? You're joking, right? Like this is some sort of a joke. Okay. He's 80. He's slightly overweight. And I promise you, I swear to you, no matter what he says he's eating fast food. That's it. That's, like, it's that basic. You can't eat fast food when you're 80 years old. It's literally that basic, and the dude's falling. And people are like, "Oh, God, I wonder, is somebody poisoning it?" Like, they're probably, like Secret Service probably freaking out. You know, they think this is some sort of inside job or something. They're trying to look here, blaming all these people. Meanwhile, the guy's ducking off to go get his dollar menu item or whatever he's getting, you know, that again he shouldn't be eating at 80 years old. That sounds stupid. I'm not trying to be mean. I care about the fact that he's not doing a good job and his health is terrible. Nobody around him seems to be doing a very good job. They're all just a bunch of... Take some responsibility. Dude's an American, at least don't make him look like a fool in front of the rest of the world. Like, at least that. At least do that. No, there's no hope of that. It's done. Just falling asleep in meetings. So, I wanted to do this broom racing event. I just don't feel like doing it. Should we do it? Where is it? Alright, let's do it. I'll set the waypoint and we'll take a look at it. I want to pass some time though. Listen, you guys probably wonder, like, why is he wearing a suit, you know? And, like, you know, like, other people, they say this, and... Can I ask you guys something? Do you do this? Do you do this to women? That want to wear, like, cosplay, or... just, you know, look cute, or cute in general, or whatever. Makes them feel good, or whatever. Do you do this with them, or do you just accept it and go... You know, it's whatever, it's fine. So, like, I need a reason. But with, like, a woman, she, you know, like, she... Hell, you don't care. I'm truthfully asking. That's the disconnect. Because, I just feel like so many guys don't dress up or do this sort of thing where they, I guess, take care of or pamper themselves or do things that make themselves look good. Otherwise, they're perceived as effeminate or something like that. And I'd love to break this. I think it's incredibly stupid. Like, like a guy wants to care about how he looks and has some self-respect about their appearance, you know, they're speaking about stuff or whatever they're doing, you know, they want to just look a certain way. They, you know, like, they just like to look that way or want to wear those clothes or whatever. You know, it's a thing, right? It's not just they want to do that. I want to put that out there. I think that's another weird psychological thing that people do. I think not enough people... Like, I think psychology should be taught at a high school level. I think these things where people are afraid to teach certain things and stuff like that, it's their fears. You know, like they're afraid because, you know, somebody around them is going to figure something out or something like truthfully, like there's no reason. Just like anything else, gun control or anything like that, where you talk about regulating stuff, the whole point is you don't need to do you need to do less of that the more you educate about it, because then people are smart with it. They know how it works. They don't misuse it. They respect, you know, what it could do. You get what I'm saying? So here's an example of some textures that I think may not have gotten fixed. Let's take a look. If I reset, I bet they would. Yeah, look at that. Wait. Yeah, look at that. But that's okay. If they reset, though, they don't look too bad. They actually don't. But yeah, it's the underwater reflections. And again, that's trash windows. Remember, ever since I called Jedi Survivor trash and proved it on stream, you know, they couldn't handle that. They really, you know, and here's the thing. They really thought that I wanted to spend $120 and call that game trash. I don't know why they thought that I wanted to do that. Because I never did that after that. I promise you, after that game, I never spent over $60 on a game, I don't think. Because I was like, nope, I'm done now. This was supposed to be... I loved Fallen Order. I beat this like 4 times. I beat Fallen Order like 4 times. Love that game. And then Jedi Survivor was just garbage. And again, not because of story, not because of Star Wars, because anything wrong with Star Wars or the story, it was literally the execution of the game. It was terrible. Just almost everything about it was terrible. Almost. But again, on a mechanical level, on a fundamental level, not a story level, not that level. That was fine. We're talking about technical side. Like basically morons. People that claim to be good at what they're doing, and they're just not. Alright. Let's suck.
Brilliant flying, if I do.
Is that my ghost right there? Oh my god. Is that supposed to be me, or... I missed some rings. You know how, like, you have a ghost car on a racing game?
This is going well.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Brilliant.
The sharp turn. Shit. No, this is one of the best parts of this whole game. Highly recommend this. Oh, what is on my nose right now? Fly, you stupid fly.
Made it.
God, I really stupid things. It is like 36 degrees outside, and I'm still... Like, how the heck? How? I've been like, that's why I was even, oh my god, that's why I was later to the stream today. I've been like, trying to extra effort in cleaning and shit. It's insane.
That wasn't too difficult.
Yes, it was. Shut up. You didn't do anything, man. I'm doing the work.
Brilliant.
I suck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just did all that for it to pass me. Oh my god. And then I didn't even finish like an ass.
Blast.
Cried. Shame. Shame. Oh my god. That was terrible. I did not suck. Alright, here we go. Do 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 do
No success there.
Sucks. Sucks.
I can do better.
That was my ringtone for the longest time. I'm not. I was like, I'd be standing in the. I'd be standing in the department store, and my phone would ring, and you just hear the you know, the very tinny animatronic. Do 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 do. I just had the whole thing on there. It would just play through the whole thing, and I would get like people would just be like poking their heads around looking like, is that your ringtone? I'm like, yep, that's freaking cool. That's why I put it as my ringtone, but it's freaking cool.
Made it.
Made it. What the heck kind of weird celebratory sound was that? Who sounds like that? Apparently Roland Longbottom sounds like that. Oh my god. Oh my god, I suck.
Excellent.
Shit.
Brilliant flying, if I do say so myself.
Thanks, YouTube. Thank you for removing all these views. That, man, doing such a good job removing mass quantities of views today. What a stupendous job you're doing at that. We're down to 61 views on the stream. I mean, that's incredible.
That wasn't too difficult. Now that's more like it.
I suck, man. I am not gonna do this. This one's hard. This might be one of the harder ones. Oh shit! I just literally missed that. How do I like leave the thing? Can I not like just leave it? I guess I have to wait.
Close, but not close enough.
Yeah, that's probably why I have, I think, last place on this one. Because normally I get... Oh no, I have third. Actually, that's pretty good. I probably did do this one a bit. Because normally I get pretty close, I think. I can look around for, like, another one. I do think that one's, like... Again, this is the complete opposite side of them. This is the furthest you go. So the fact that that's here, you know, that is going to be probably the hardest one. One of the hardest ones. There's one. I don't know where they all are. That's why, like, I'm kind of, like, just, like, panning around. Alright, I guess I'll go to this one.
What are you up to now?
Yeah, second on this one. Holy crap, look at that gap. Wow.
Success. Brilliant.
Yeah. Already messed up. Oh my god.
That wasn't planned.
No, it wasn't. Very observant.
Made it.
Oh my god, I suck so bad. What the... This is genuinely difficult with a keyboard and mouse. Jeez.
These rocks have seen better days.
It's like all of it. God! Can you just disqualify me now, please? I suck. When I suck this bad, how did I ever get second place? I was probably just much better at this at one point. I mean, clearly that's the case.
Did it.
Shit. I'm gonna try like little corrections here.
Success.
Shit.
Excellent.
Ah.
Made it. Made it.
Oh wow.
Did anyone else see that?
Oh wow. Oh wow. Holy crap. I freaking nailed it. Holy crap. I was like full focus that time. Sometimes you just gotta lock in, man. That's why, like, if you guys remember a while back when I was playing Only Up, I made the point to say that when you're like on like one of those very narrow things where you're just running across it, my suggestion, even like with stuff like that, my suggestion is always just do it. Don't stand there and be like, you know, like just run. At least that's the way I handle it, because you are far better off trying to relax and just make tiny corrections and go at a decent pace than trying to sit there and be all concerned the whole time. Like it's like walking on a tightrope. If you just don't relax and focus, you're just gonna just like that. So sometimes you just gotta lock in. You gotta lock in. That was fun. So I got first place on that one. I'm gonna head down to the forest, take a walk. Yeah, let's do it. Forbidden Forest walk. I already said we're gonna do this, so let's do it. Honk honk. Oh jeez. Look at these textures. Maybe I'll reset. It's the I mean, you know, like this game does do a lot of texture stuff. So it makes sense that I'd have to restart for some things. Hey, but yeah, you know, I will say though, the fact that it's actually loading it after the fact is still kind of impressive that it can adjust like that. Probably just has a harder time doing it. Obviously. Obviously, if you let it do it beforehand versus doing it after is a little bit of a difference there. Obviously. Look, he shut himself. I love the signs. It's very, very true to what, you know, some of the signs in like the movie and stuff. Pretty cool. Well, movies.
Expelliarmus!
I'm sure I've done this, but... let's see what it is.
Lumos.
We'll see what it is. Yep, I did it. Yeah, some of the reflections and lighting and stuff isn't reacting the appropriate way too. I'll probably just do a reset. I'll probably just restart. It's not that big a deal. It still looks great though. Like, again, that's the weather effects really are just outstanding. Not quite unparalleled, but it's outstanding. Unparalleled, I have to say again the Horizon 5 graphics. So I just have never seen anything quite to that level. Hey Andy, you've been playing this a lot, already 23 or so hours in. That's so cool. Thanks for keeping us updated. That's good to hear.
What was that? Oh, the anticipation.
Expelliarmus!
No!
Crucible.
glad you're enjoying it. What point are you at in the like what spell did you just get? Like where are you at in the assignments and stuff for your classes? So I know where you are. It sounds like you're probably about halfway. If you're around level 23 or so, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just guessing. Maybe like a 30 or 40% would be my guess, but that's just based on level. I don't even know. You know, because you could be doing side stuff for all I know. That's what I do a lot. Okay. Yeah, like if you were just doing main story, you'd probably be like 30 or 40% by now. But if you're doing like side stuff, then you probably got plenty of stuff left to do. The story's a decent length. It's not something you're gonna do super quick. And there'll be like certain things that you gotta figure out along the way, figure out how to do. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna stand up and be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'll be right back. But it's good to hear that I appreciate you showing up and hanging out and chat and telling us how far you are in the game. It's good to see people playing. It's awesome. Such a good game. Highly overlooked. Misunderstood, I think. But that's the series. I've talked about that before. Like, I think that the Harry Potter series is misunderstood in general. You know, I truthfully think if anybody watched, again, the first movie is very much it's more like, it feels more family movie oriented, but again, it's supposed to feel like that. It's the first movie, you know, they're young when they first go to that school, you know, and after that it really picks up. Like, it really is not like, there's a lot, it's a pretty dark story from the get-go. So I just feel like it's very misunderstood and misrepresented. I feel like a lot of people think it's I guess not a very adult-like story, but you know, they didn't even give it a chance. They didn't watch it or read the books. They're just sort of kind of, I guess, basing it on what they've heard, and it wouldn't be accurate. It's definitely one of the darker, more interesting stories about wizards and magic I've ever heard. I really wanted to get the best unlocked spell, but now I'm hesitating to grab all the easy Hogsmeade shit. Hogsmeade's chest because of level scaled loot. Yeah, the chests are fun though. Like, you start finding them, especially once you have like Revelio and you see all these chests laying. It can be fun once you start getting Alohomora and all that. You liked the books as a kid. The movies were fine, but not as good. Yeah, I understand feeling that way. Here's how I feel about the movies. I feel like they did the best that they could, because those books are so huge. Like, some of them are like this. They're so big. The movies are already like 2.5 hours. And remember the demographic that they are to appeal to. So you know, like the younger generation and stuff like that might not necessarily be able to watch a longer movie, and already there's a lot there. So I just feel like if you would have kept everything in there, every movie would have been broken up into 2 parts like Deathly Hallows was, and there was still a couple of things missing. But I personally think that you can split hairs all day and talk about this or that. I think it was probably the best they could have done. Anybody could have done. I think it was so good, and a lot of it was the cast and the direction, bringing that all together and stuff of the overall production of the movies. You know, everybody being on board with all the way through and not arguing and having any kind of, you know, like different paths they wanted to go with the story. No, they just went, nope, we're doing this. And that's super important. Yeah, exactly. The books got thicker and thicker too, so hard to fit more into a single movie. Yeah, I think the thickest book was Order of the Phoenix. I think. No, Deathly Hallows probably was, but other than that, it was probably Order of the Phoenix. But that was near the end. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they got a lot thicker, lots more story, and really, really dark stuff. Like, again, it's not what people think. If I just sit here and spoil it, then where's the magic in that? You should go, like, that's the point. I think anybody just needs to go start watching those movies. Get over that first one. Just sit there and get through it, and then watch the second one. If after the second one you don't want to, okay, fine. But I really feel like after you get through that second movie, you're going to be like, okay, I kind of want to see what's going to happen. And then the third one is just, Prisoner of Azkaban is just like, it was a lot of fans' favorite. It was my favorite until Deathly Hallows came out, and part 2 was just so brilliant, it's really hard not to pick that one. It was so brilliant. So, you're going to get to a point where you're just going to be like, okay, I have to know what happens. I have to know what happens. I have to know. And then there's some brilliant actors, too. Robert Pattinson plays the brilliant Cedric Diggory, too, in Goblet of Fire. He comes and joins the cast, too, for a character. You know, obviously, you have the main cast, too, and you have Alan Rickman as Snape. Brilliant. Just a brilliant cast. Everybody. Daniel Radcliffe doesn't get enough due credit. He's not Harry Potter. He's just a brilliant actor that portrayed Harry Potter brilliantly. I just don't think anybody else would have been able to do it. And it's not because he looked like the character. I don't think anybody else would have been able to do it. It's like the sort of thing where you had Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. You had Keanu Reeves as Neo. You had, you know, I just think it's that type of role where it was like fate, you know, like there's nothing else that could have happened. And, you know, again, it doesn't define him as an actor. I just think, again, he was so brilliant. He carried that role. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have resonated. Harry Potter was that person where, you know, he was like, he was the chosen one, and so, you know, like, if he hadn't carried that the way he did, like, nobody else would have been able to do it. He had the chops for it. He nailed it. He nailed it. Because the point is that you have to realize is Harry Potter is not... Again, this isn't a spoiler. If it's a spoiler, I'm sorry. Go watch something else. But I feel like this will sell the movies on some people, okay? So please go watch something else if you don't want a spoiler. Harry Potter is not a super, ultra, megally powerful wizard. He's not. By the standards of the person in this game, this guy right now in this game would be stronger than Voldemort, like anybody in Harry Potter, basically. Basically. Harry Potter is not he was smart and resourceful. It was just it's like brilliant writing. It's realistic. It's not like here's an anime character that's just super powerful, and then that's fun too, but it's not like that at all. It really isn't. You know, none of them were. That's the whole point. They were outmatched, outgunned the whole time. It was cool. It was really cool. Yeah, so they even had propaganda. Like, that was what they got into the propaganda even. Like, it was very realistic. Like, it's like, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. Yeah, like they got branded as, you know, certain people, you know, and, you know, because the evil regime was taking over at a certain point. Like flat out, like, it's just like, yep. So such a good series all the way through, but it really picked up after Prisoner of Azkaban. Prisoner of Azkaban is when it just boomed. That is when, from that movie on, those are adult movies. They're not really for the younger. They're more they're more. I mean, they could, but again, you'd probably want to be there. You know, like it's there's a lot more in there, and it's some really good story. Goblet of Fire, very, very serious tone. Some very serious, permanent things happen in the story in Goblet of Fire. Like, just... the whole series is so good. And characters... there are characters that throughout the series will change. And... oh my god. I can't even... I just can't... It's so good. It deserves so many rounds of applause for being some of the best stuff and ever put, yeah, on the big screen. Seriously. And people just really don't understand because they never gave it a chance. It's some of the best stories ever told. But anyway, let me go stand up, take a bathroom break here, and I'll be back. But yeah, Phoenix has the most pages, like you thought at first, actually. So yeah, that's good to hear. I appreciate the backup. Yeah, I thought I was right on that, but as somebody that you know, I didn't. I read a little bit of the books, but it wasn't quite the. It wasn't like the movies. It wasn't like that, and. I watched the movies. I saw a good bit of them in theater when they first came out. When, like, as they were coming out, I was going to see them. So, anyway, I'll be back. I'll see you guys here soon. Hello. Thanks for waiting. I had to brush my teeth. And this is gonna taste very strange now. It's not that bad. This is like one of the best things, like when you brush your teeth. Like soda is terrible. When you it's like awful after you brush your teeth. It is. This actually isn't bad. You don't really. Seriously, like you really notice it. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and one sec here. I am actually going to I'm actually gonna go ahead and restart here. Let's see. Now let's see if it saved it. I think it defaulted again. I think that they did something. Did you see the bitrate shift? I think they defaulted again. I think basically they're creating an environment where they get this to because I think it did. I think that's what it did. I don't think it saved the settings. Yep. Completely defaulted to what it was. And all they did, again, like you saw, all they did was shift the bitrate around. So, again, all they're doing is getting this to save those settings at, you know, like they're doing data corruption on the Windows level. This is what I've always said is happening. You know, the thing that I keep saying, I've been saying since the beginning, and nobody listened, like that proves it. That is literally data corruption. Where the second that you see that bitrate shift around, again, it should save these settings. The game actually indicates to apply these changes, you must restart the game. It actually tells you that, too. So therefore, you know, they're clearly causing those issues where it would just not apply those settings on a restart, so they never work properly. And thus you have endless problems with the game. Which is what they always did to the other games, too. That's why all these other games are having problems, too. Where they're just defaulting the settings so that it doesn't restart the game properly. Like, that's literally all they're doing. So it's actually kind of amazing that, it's actually kind of amazing that... Excuse me. It's kind of amazing that, Microsoft, you know, like seeing this, knowing this happens, all these automatic reports, all this spying that we know they do, and it's still the same problem that I've been telling you guys has been happening all throughout my channel since even Windows 10 was like the only thing that anybody could use. And you know, like that's the whole point is like it shouldn't be a regular thing that the settings are just defaulting to whatever the hell, you know, they did prior. You know, that's data corruption. That's somebody did something. Yeah, so basically it's not compiling shaders. You know, when I start the game, it should compile shaders. It's not doing that. That's what, no, that's what's happening. It's not doing it. It just did it again. It's not compiling the shaders, that's why. That's literally why. So somebody's getting it to skip that step where it would read what you did. So I did get it to work, but that's why. And I don't know how I got it to work, but that is why. It is definitely skipping that step. So they're getting it to do that, is my point. And I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. Okay? When you guys know I spent all those years running streams pretty much the way they look now. You guys know this. Pretty much the way they look now. Okay? And my whole point was that Microsoft is the one that retires entire lines of things just for the sake to introduce a new line that really isn't even any better. It just kind of looks the same. And, you know, you could have just had the old line, so why did you spend all this money to get... My point is, they don't need to do that. They could, you know, so it's... I understand that there's a lot of things coming out, but that's where you would put some sort of restriction on how many different brands can produce this thing, so that way there's not so much competition that these things happen. You would be on Windows 7 if you could. Thank you, exactly. 3K Mamba says be on Windows 7. Exactly. I'd be on Windows 8.1. I loved 8.1. What was wrong with 8.1? I know a lot of people had problems with 8.1. I didn't have problems with 8.1. I thought 8.1 was great. Now, not 8, 8.1. Because it fixed all those issues. Like, they owned it. They were like, yeah, it was bad. We'll put out a 0.1. 7 was good, too. Yeah, 7 was one of the best. It really was. That was a new standard for them. So why Yeah. exactly. And then there's this recycled framework. Gee, I wonder where the security breaches are when it's recycled framework. Gee, I wonder.
Thinking in terms of good and evil indicates a limited imagination.
I can't summon my broom here.
Potato.
Why can't I summon my broom here? What the heck?
Nothing that bugs you.
That's funny. What the hell? Why? Oh yeah, now the broom is broken. They broke the broom. I can't even use it at all. Yeah, my broom doesn't work at all. So they're just breaking the game now. Look, can't use the broom. See how the icon's there? Give me a reason. Give me a reason. I'm not near a border. I should be able to use the broom here. So there you go. So to the developers, and trust me, there's trust me, they're aware of some of this going on. If you see this, I hope you do, because it shouldn't be happening. And this was all after that whole thing where the graphics defaulted. We're talking about this. We proved that somebody's screwing around with it. So here they are trying to screw around again and spy on it more. So you see Microsoft sitting here trying to figure out, because they're dumb. They don't know what, so again, they break it more. Like, this is the point. You see what happens. They break it more. That's data corruption, where they're breaking the game, trying to screw around with things that I'm talking about that are wrong. They just break it. So, yeah, that shouldn't be happening. Like, obviously you can use a broom. Yeah. So, like, obviously, like, it's fine now, but there was no reason for that. I could say if I was in a cave or something. Someone's confidence to find new versions and also introduce new vulnerabilities they can blame on it being new. Yeah, exactly. You know it. Yeah. It's endless reasons for them to blame everything except them. Yes, exactly. Just like that streaming software, like, they were right, that first streaming software that I used, like, I didn't know that at the time because somebody scammed, like, sent me a scam email pretending to be somebody from that company, so I thought it was them. But, like, it's obvious that, you know, since they knew it was Microsoft, they were trying to communicate to me because they had recognized this crap too. So it's very obvious somebody was trying to scam some sort of connection where I would have been able to communicate to a developer probably that would have been able to fix this and get behind this. They caused a rift there where, you know, I ended up communicating with them because they sent some scam email or something like that pretending to be from the so, like, and again, it wasn't illegitimate. I can recognize that. So they really did figure out how to get into this. Remember, these people doing this, they steal login credentials. So, like, that's the point. That's all they did. They just stole this person's login credentials and made a different account separate under the same account. You get what I'm saying? So that it would be under that person's credential, and then they could just do it. So that, like, very early on when they were catching it, that was what happened there. And they did catch it. They were saying certain things like, "This is a Microsoft problem. This is a Microsoft problem. This is a Microsoft problem," and you know, it was just things where it was trackers and all that in the software bogging it down, but that was coming from Windows. You know, like, that stuff obviously going to happen if it's not, yeah. So that's why, like, all these stream softwares, like, that's what you have to realize, that's what's happening. Like, a lot of your little, like things that are in the stream software that grab data and, like, use real-time data and stuff like that, you have to realize it's basically just a browser window. That's all it is. It's just a browser window. So, you know, you're running a bunch of, basically just running a bunch of browser windows on top of each other. So what, you know what that means when, okay. So what they can do with that, in addition to other things. Go see if Hagrid's home. Just kidding. It's long before Hagrid. And I want you to see what they're doing with the bitrate. I want you to see that, like, they're kind of screwing around a bit with it, where they have it sort of molding to certain things the stream is doing, instead of just, you know, what it should be. Right, so the problem is not enough people are, like, they're modeling this very scammy sort of thing that the current president is doing, where he does all these terrible things and he just does them long enough that people stop caring, and they shouldn't. Like, eventually all that's going to happen is it's going to affect you eventually. Like, it just hasn't yet. And then when it does, you're gonna wish you had done something before it was something that was more permanent. You know, like the warnings people talk about, where, you know, like, it's something that when these changes happen, they very rarely go away. You know, like, it's you gotta understand what that means. It's not just like other people are adapting this mentality of well, if we just do it long enough, people will stop complaining. They won't care anymore. And it's just it's a justification for laziness, for the people not to claim responsibility for things. Well, actually, what you have to understand is a lot of times now the gaming industry actually is driving some of the music movie industry. Like obviously some of the most sought after and anticipated movies are going to be the ones that all the gamers want to watch for their favorite game that somebody's finally making this out of, or something like that. Or you know, a popular music artist does a soundtrack for a game or something. You know, you have to understand, like, if they do that, that's gonna be them using the massive pull from the gaming industry. So if anything, it's actually the other way around. That I think that's the problem. People don't realize that. They think that movies and music is still bigger. Like, it was like overnight. It was around that time that people started realizing how much streamers made. Like, certain streamers leaked their profit and stuff like that, and just sort of kind of overnight, investors just immediately went, holy crap, we're invested in the wrong stuff now. And there's there's nothing wrong with that, but again, the problem with that then is you oversaturate it, and now everything is that. Now now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with these movies, but you know, all the video game movies that started coming out from a few years ago, they're just pumping them out. Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying they've been pumping them out. Yeah, I mean, some of them are great. But I'm just saying, like, that's why. It was doing that thing. It's definitely not supposed to do that. It's funny. Why is the bitrate suddenly malicious when I point out that it's not supposed to do that? It never was doing that until then. Just right then. Just right when I point that out, it gets incredibly malicious. Gee, I wonder if trash Microsoft is sitting here and, you know, all behind the scenes clipping little things and taking things from the stream, you know, because they can't figure out how to fix these things, and I'm talking about it, and their software is garbage, and so therefore, you know, they're harassing my streams. By the way, this bitrate shifting around does things like this in the game, where you see the game flipping out, and it affects the integrity of the stream. It really, really messes up how good the stream looks. So, again, when due process happens and it all comes around, just remember when you've done all these things for X amount of time to make the stream look really bad, and we'll be able to show this, and very obviously break the game. You know, the broom didn't work earlier, the settings weren't set, it's going to be pretty obvious to tell what was going on. Well, there's nothing else that would have caused it except for that. You know, the always on connection, and then you do this to my bitrate. We know what's going on. Yeah. Remember the reason, remember, they wanted me to activate my physical copy of Elden Ring on a digital, that was how they're going to fix their hack where they broke the game. They wanted me to activate it digitally so they could fix it. Yet this was something, again, that was just clearly not an issue. Clearly not real. Actually happening. And that was their solution. Yeah, of course, obviously, exactly, you know? Yeah, and Andy said Microsoft would love it if all your game files were on their cloud so they could do whatever they want, force the internet connections, and stop modding. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so let me also tell you, here's what they're doing. A while back. So if they find out that you have something, a piece of hardware that's really good, they put pressure on that company, and all of a sudden that hardware goes to 2 to 3 times the price it should be. Which is why I didn't want to tell you guys sometimes what I was upgrading to over the years. This is a very real trend that happens. I got a hard drive upgrade one time, and this hard drive was so fast. It did so much for me, but I didn't say anything about it. Now, what I'm not talking about now, I'm just talking about previously. And then, after a little while, and I could tell they did their little spy thing, you know, to mess with my hard drives and stuff like that, and I could tell they were trying to figure it out, and no lie, yeah, after I saw that happen, I then went and looked the hard drive up not too long after that, and it had doubled in price. And nothing else happened. But it doubled in price. Because it's a good hard drive. So, they're doing something to break, like, the driver or the way it works in Windows, that company now has to put so much resources into fixing it that they have to double the price. That's what they're doing. I swear to God, that's what they're doing. It's so basic. It's so easy to follow. Because I've been doing this, I've been following this for as long as I've been, like, again, I've been putting computers together since like 9 years old. It's been the same thing my whole life. This is what Microsoft has always done. It's just before they were a bit more responsible about it. And you know, now that's the point. Now you just have so many companies and they're not doing anything. They're not offering solutions. They're offering things that harm your system, and you know, you'll get a card or you'll get this piece of hardware this day, and then maybe next week it'll just stop support for it. And you never know. Something like that. So yeah, I mean, I called it. I knew what the problem was on the Series X, and they didn't want to acknowledge it. And I very simply stated it on my stream and was playing the Series X just fine. And so I could confirm this, and it was very obvious. I knew what I was talking about. So all their people, all their development, none of them knew, but I did. It just, again, it makes them look really bad, and I mean, again, it should, because they should have just listened. They could have just fixed it. Do you guys remember when I was streaming on my Series X and Elden Ring looked better than like any other game you've probably ever seen on a console? Do you remember that? And the only thing that was happening was it would just turn to a black screen and it would just disappear so you couldn't see it. I just kept doing that. And then the whole point was I was like I could do this thing again. Clearly, I could stream it just fine. But then as soon as it became a thing where I was doing it and lots of people were watching, oh, then it breaks. And then
These rocks have seen better days.
and so, you know, if it wasn't the black screen, you know, I figured out how a little fix for that. You know, like where I would just bring it back in a few seconds. So then they just made the service disconnect where I could never use that little service where I was, you know, streaming from that Xbox, because it has the capture card built into it. You don't need something extra. You can just and that's the point. Like, you literally can, and I was proving that, and it looked so good, and it was amazing, and they literally just broke it. And so, like, that's the point. I was proving I knew how to do that you could do that. The system was amazing. But on the software level, like, basically, it was like the app is trash. The Xbox app for PC is trash, and it all boils down to trackers and stuff like that. Like, if it weren't for that, and it's that basic. Nothing. You have to listen to me. You know the concept of like a software where it's called like a light version, you know, something. No, not like light, like L-I-G-H-T, but L-I-T-E. You know, like where it's a light version. You can't do this anymore. The concept is retired because nothing is offline anymore. So how can it be light? That's not very nice. Just comes in chat and says STFU. That's not very nice. Who was that directed to? That's not very nice at all. Do you normally go into live chats and just tell people to shut the F up? Just curious. Since we haven't seen you in chat until just now when I'm pointing out some very obviously wrong things with Microsoft. And I'm right. And then you just come out of nowhere, STFU, just out of nowhere. Like, this is what happens in my chat, you guys. Like, it's kind of amazing. Yeah. Must work from Microsoft, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a troll, but it's possible. No, I think the point is this person likes PlayStation or something like that, doesn't want to own up to the fact. It's like, you have to understand that I'm not exactly rooting for the Xbox or anything like that after what they did to me, but I'm just affirming that flat out the Series X really was the most powerful console. It's just people are breaking it, and it's that easy. It's easy to breach. Consoles are hackable. And again, everything's fixed the moment that I disrupt the internet connection. That's called a hack. There's nothing, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That is a hack. I mean, like, I couldn't launch Elden Ring. I couldn't launch Elden Ring. I couldn't launch Elden Ring. I unplugged the Ethernet cable. Elden Ring launched all on its own. Gee. I wonder what's going on there. Wonder what that is. just comes in and immediately tells people to shut the F up. Doesn't say anything else, just says that, doesn't reply to anything that we're asking. Interesting. Integrity. Integrity. No vampires. Hey guys, no vampires. No trolls allowed. No vampires. There's vampires in Harry Potter lore? That's awesome. Didn't even know that. Yeah, anti-cheat is malware. And there are certain virus softwares that are malware too that people don't realize they're malware. They're just using a thing that gives them spyware. Like there's certain virus softwares, if you use them, you're just gonna get a virus eventually. And then they wonder how they keep getting it. There's a certain virus software out there that for the life of me I have no effing clue how they weren't shut down by the government already. I have no clue. Like literally the most useless virus software. And people think it's good. They really do. Like they scam the reviews and everything. It's just flat out spyware, man. It's crazy. You gotta be careful with that stuff. And some people are like, they don't understand that virus softwares conflict, so using more than one is like not using one. They conflict with each other. One will attack the other. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but that's what these folks are doing to me, is they're backwards updating Windows updates. So you know, if somebody, it just takes somebody to do that, if you just have that. So any more that's the issue. Like yes, like I understand most people think they can get by, but that you have to understand that when the issue is things disguised to look like updates that just sort of install a basic driver so that it doesn't run as well, and then they slowly attack it in the background, that's what you have to realize. It's not going to look like it used to. All these things nowadays are designed to just look like, oh, something needs an update. Oh, it just needs an update. Why though? Why? Like, it just got updated. It needs 2 updates a day? Why? It's like, no, even if something that needs something once a week, that's excessive. Once a month, alright. Once every 2 weeks, maybe. Sometimes. But once a week, now you're getting excessive. Now somebody needs to investigate that. Nobody's doing that. You don't have anybody on a federal level anymore assigned to these tasks, and they should be. Oh, right. And nobody's getting fired, right? They're all resigning. Right? So so now it doesn't look like he's firing them. You know, they're resigning. I probably did whatever that is already. I mean, come on, guys. This is America. This is America. Why would I even have this problem? This is absurd. This is America. I mean, it just makes us look so bad.
Lumos.
That's America. America. Should I wear my Chuck Norris shirt that says that with the American flag on it? Should I do that? I already did this. I don't even know why I'm coming in here. Probably to look at all the effed up textures. See, that's why it's doing that. Because it's not compiling textures. It didn't compile the textures. That's why it's doing that. So, like, that's kind of my point. Like, it's only doing that because it didn't compile the textures. Like, this stuff would look a lot better if they hadn't caused it to do that. Interesting, isn't it? So they found a way to get it to break that feature and just never do that. I'll bet it'll just never do it now. I'll bet it'll just never do it. And the game will just get worse and worse and worse. I'll bet. Because it's Steam. You know, like, again, it's so easy to attack Steam now. Ever since Steam started their gambling bullshit. Like, again, they're another company. Like, I love Steam and everything I do, but ever since this whole gambling thing's been going on, there's a lot of weird stuff now. And I'm not saying that's, like, you know, like, I'm just saying you gotta crack down on it. You know, it's not like... I mean, a lot of times I feel like people think that people do these things on purpose. I just think that, like, a lot of times they don't think that it's going to happen that way. I probably did this. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, I don't need to do this. Let's do something else. I'll need to do this. Let's go... Oh, everything's done in Hogsmeade. Yay. I'm going to Hogsmeade, though.
Another adventure, are we?
No. This is not an adventure. It's not at all. It's not what it's called. Oh man. Alright, time for mass likes to be removed from the stream. Here we go. Here we go. I just watched 4. I just watched 4. It was at 230 likes. Bam! 4 all at once. Alright, there goes another one. There we go. Just ticking them off. Oh man. Man, this guy's complaining about Microsoft too much. So, you know, clearly all the 230 different people that like the stream that are each individually clearly still watching, you know, out of the 7 people that are still watching, clearly they're all removing their likes right now on this channel. Like, that's actually a possibility right now, you know. We literally just watched more likes come off than concurrent viewers in the stream right now. So again, there's no possible way it's actually other people doing that. But, you know, it's coming off, you know. So. Oh yeah, for sure. Again, they're controlling free speech, and it is a violation of my rights. It's not a private platform. This platform is not privately owned. It's not. It's a publicly traded company. I am heavily invested in this company, too. So for them to just constantly be doing this, oh, it is terrible. It is terrible. And they're just, again, they're violating my rights. It is not a private company. Again, it's a private company. Those people at any time, yeah, they can adjust rules. But again, I am part of the investment of the publicly traded company of, again, YouTube and the ABC Inc. stock that is YouTube, okay? And I don't know why they've massively shifted my bitrate around for talking about that, too. It's absurd. Yeah, like, almost like educating people is terrible. You know, you can sit here and learn how to hack on the internet, but oh man, if I tell you about the stuff that they're doing to harm you and spy on you, oh man. I am not the only one calling this stuff and seeing it. Like, everybody else is seeing it too. It's just, I've been saying it for years. Because I always saw it. It's just now that you have billionaires and other rich people buying power in this country, and that's how it's working right now. That's what's happening. It's funny, I didn't even read your comment until now, yeah. And you said people with a legitimate power have always feared people getting educated. Well, that's what it is. Yeah. It's not the fact that I'm spreading a positive message. They don't care about that. It's that I'm educating people about economy, poverty, economics, government. Yeah. And that is controlled in this country. They don't do it in our public school system. They flat out will the public schools will lie to you about politics. They will lie. They won't lie to you about history, about almost anything else, but the public school system in the United States will, I repeat, will lie about U.S. politics. They will. They won't educate you on it, but they are comfortable with lying to you about it. Oh, trust me. Trust me, they are. Trust me, I already know. And this was never the case when I was in school. Like, again, you would never do this. Because they couldn't. There should be legislation for it before you do that. And that's why. To know how much, to know how little. I guarantee you, and beyond what my guarantee is, I know I can confirm from people that have told me that, yeah, nowadays, teachers, principals, all kinds of people are weighing in on the current situation and the current president and their feelings on this person, and it is incredibly, incredibly stupid. And they're not supposed to be doing that. They're not. They're not supposed to be doing that. They should be fired, in fact, for doing that. But they are. Because the point is, there's not legislation for it yet. They're not supposed to do it. It should be decided on. You know, that's what the Department of Education does. Like literally, like, just not doing it right at all. And so, you know, it's just like media. It's going to be up to that person's interpretation and bias at that point. It's not education. It's just stupid. It's the truth. Somebody's opinion on politics is not fact. You know, just like I told you guys before, you can look at anything middle of the road to have your own take on how you want to feel about this and what the best way to do this would be that you think for, you know, the people and stuff like that, for the way things are going. That's opinion, and that's the way the center of the road is. Politics and stuff that you debate about should never ever be the facts. It shouldn't be the stuff we know you don't do, the stuff we know that it's right and wrong. And this is some of the most basic things that people can't do. This is why we teach history. And they don't even teach that. They don't even tell you that. They can't. They can't even. I just, again, I can't thank enough the education I had where we spent extra time on presidents and stuff. Not political stuff, but just educating. Just facts. You know, this president, this and this and that. You know, just facts about the things that happened and stuff like that. And it is so important. So when a president comes along and seemingly tries to lie about everything he's always done, he's trying to make sure the history books don't remember. You have to understand that. He doesn't... Like, it really is that. Like, he is just really, really, really bad at this job. And he's trying to cover up for it. Now remember, it's always, you know, firing somebody. And again, now in this term, it's not that. Now they're resigning. But the whole point is these people end up losing their careers and stuff like that, all for him to continue doing the same terrible things that aren't helping. Somebody that spends more time overseas than right here fixing things. Should tell you a lot about. Again, that's because spend a majority of the time overseas. It's very strange. All while claiming that we should stay out of the. Remember, we should stay out of foreign policy and. Oh, okay, but now, you know, now it's about drugs. Now we gotta stop drugs and stuff. There's always something else. Remember, you have to... We win that by providing outreach and resources and systems, you know, systems of helping people, like government systems of helping, you know, like drug centers and stuff like that. How else are you gonna do it? Let me ask you something. If you bomb all the drug addicts in a city, you know, you just bomb them, sort of like a boat, sort of like a certain boat in Venezuela. If you just bomb it, did you fix the drug problem, or did you just kill some people? I'll wait. I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to be political. That should be a right and wrong. Like this is right, this is wrong. If you bombed a boat, you just bomb a boat, or again, if you just unalive some drug addicts, you just bomb them in a city. Did you fix the drug problem, or did you just unalive some people? I'll wait. If somebody would love to weigh in. I will wait if you'd love to weigh in. Again, did you fix the drug problem? What did that do? I would love to hear a credible response from somebody that supports that. What did that do? Did it only further exacerbate it? Because, in my opinion, that's how I would see it. I would just see it as those cartel members are going to be really angry. The government's going to be really angry in that country. You know, so likewise in a city, the mayor's going to be angry. The people are going to be angry. You just unalived some people that you could have helped instead of... What? They're people with a problem. So that's the issue, is he's treating them like filth instead of like people. And that's what rich people always do. That's what you have to understand. Rich people always do that. Otherwise they wouldn't be rich. Because the whole point is rich people that aren't like that give and donate. They're not rich because they don't want to be. Or they don't advertise it. They choose not to live that way. It's there for who needs it when they need it. You have to understand that's the point. and again, the one of the richest people in the world is sitting in that chair, not helping. Losing $1 trillion overnight to their own wallet. Right, exactly. Andy said, you won't have any drug addicts if there aren't any drugs. The problem is you can't sell all the drugs. The point is, like, you always have ways of handling it. You always have counterintelligence, counter-cartel, whatever you want to call it, to deal with that. But, again, remember that just like with anything, there has to be due process. Otherwise, this is what you get, where you just make a decision and it's rash and it's sudden, and it just exacerbates things and sort of blows them up, no pun intended. And again, you didn't solve anything, you didn't fix the problem, you didn't really get drug off the streets. Somebody else is going to take that person's place. So all you did is create a market opportunity for the competition. So now they took care of this cartel of whatever drug. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. Fentanyl, right? Something like that. So I don't know what something else is going to replace it now. You know, the competitor is just going to come along. Well, all right, we can't do that, so we'll just do this other thing and replace it. And now they have this whole market where all these people are addicts. They can't get it now, and they just need it. And they're, oh man, anything comes their way, they're just... And it makes it worse. It actually makes it worse. And they don't understand that. They really don't. I'm not trying to be rude, they clearly don't, though. But that's the honest truth. You can't do things by force like that. It just doesn't work. There's always something to replace it. And then likewise again with the concept that just like you said, there's always more addicts. There's always, you know, again, it's exacerbating that issue in other ways too, other than just that one area. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can't look at when you do this, when you always just do one thing and you don't consider the other options. Every situation individually, that boat, any other situation, is handled individually. It is not, this is how we deal with it. And if you're doing that, it's actually really stupid. It's actually really unintelligent. And it shows me how dumb basically that administration is. It's not competent. It's actually dumb. It is. It's very unintelligent. Colleges would agree. Professors would agree. Now they're looking at this going, huh? They're just announcing all of... What? Huh? So they're just gonna unalive people and that's their stance? Do you have any idea what this does? I don't think they do. Or they wouldn't have that stance. They wouldn't... They just realize immediately how stupid they look to the rest of the world. Like, basically, leaders like Kim Jong-un can use people that do things like that. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'll be back. But look at the textures kind of doing what they're doing, and they wouldn't normally do that if it compiled them. So just remember that they got that to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Well, either way, this is not how you do stuff. I'm gonna go and get... What the heck?
Expelliarmus. Confringo.
Man, this one... Oh, nice. Yeah, they're not supposed to do that.
Levioso.
Oh my god. They're destructible. Obviously. There we go. Yeah, obviously, like, the game is clearly being strange. And like I told you guys already, there's AI built into your video card. So all they have to do is program the video card on like a driver level. Like they're just breaking the driver to get the AI to respond. Like if you're a streamer, they just get it to like if you talk about technical stuff, program it to simply just do the opposite of whatever you're saying. So if the point is, they're doing this to try to probably fix their stuff because Microsoft's an idiot, and so they're probably breaking it to do that. But really, I start talking about how good something is, and I do that, and it just constantly breaks it. That's probably really like legitimately, like that sounds like something they would do. Like that literally just, again, Microsoft, they don't know what they're doing anymore, and like that's the problem. Like they do these dumb things like that, thinking that's a solution, because the point is they don't know how to fix anything. They haven't known how to fix anything. That's the issue. Yeah. It really is. One sec. Really is, though. Because I've seen like stuff like that before with them. Alright. So now I actually I'll have stuff to do on this character. I'll have a bit more to do. Yeah, see the thing where like it loads slow, I'll turn the camera and it loads slow. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about, where it's just gonna do that. They're intentionally making it skip that step. Like my point, I told them this a long time ago. I told them if a game needs to do that, like there's obviously a problem, but it's not on the game. The point is, the OS shouldn't need the game to do that prior to every time you launch the game. That's a legitimate, fundamental. Look at my bitrate. Look at my bitrate. Look at how. Okay, again, they're gonna do this. Like, literally, this is so stupid. Alright, again, this is how retarded this is. As soon as I point something out that is legitimately real, I mean, you can't even deny the logic in that. And the bitrate maliciously shifts around for the first time in how long? Right as soon as I say that. It is fundamentally flawed. If you need to compile shaders every time you start a game. And again, it's not the game, the OS that it's running on. It is fundamentally flawed. It's not the launch. They're going to blame it on the launcher. They're going to blame it on anything except them. It's framework. Framework runs that game. If your framework can't use the driver and all the other stuff that everybody's put together and worked so tirelessly to do, your OS is trash. It's being made on like Linux and stuff like that by developers that know what they're doing. So again, when you consistently need games, I don't launch a game on my console. The new gen consoles, yeah, they update, sure, but you don't launch a game and every time you launch it, it just has to compile shaders. Not usually. Or if it does, it's like, zip, something like that, of just doing it because that's built into it, so it thinks it needs to do it, but really, again, it's a console, so it's not something it's actually doing. It's just a process it goes through, just in case. So again, this is not toward this game. Other games do this too. The whole point is the developers of that game recognized they couldn't get all that stuff to function properly and work unless they did this process beforehand. That's not on them. That's on whatever it's running on. So, thus, when you see, again, it doesn't do that process and all this stuff's breaking, clearly developers put that in on purpose to fix that. And then they just break it. So the whole point is, my message isn't that you shouldn't do that. I'm saying the whole point is that's the workaround from the people that made the game. On the OS level toward Microsoft, it shouldn't do that. They shouldn't have to do that. So, you know, that's the point. The OS should just be able to launch the game and do all that stuff.
You're gonna regret coming here.
Why would it need to prepare things? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to think of an analogy. I think I got one. When you go through the highway, or like a pay toll or something like that when you're driving. Let me ask you something. Would it create more traffic problems to have people go through 3 different lines, where for some reason you're gonna have 3 different tolls, like one right after another, just for no reason whatsoever? Or are you just gonna have one toll? Again, I'm not saying like different exits. I'm saying like literally just the illogical, nonsensical idea that you would have randomly 3 tolls, where you'd split the toll up into 3 sections. You pay a toll here, move forward into a new line, wait another 20 minutes, pay a toll here, wait forward into another line, wait another 20 minutes, pay a toll here. Or you're just waiting in separate lines, and finally you're through this 40 minutes later or so, and you can get on the highway. You know, where it just bogs down traffic. That's what I could relate this to, where you literally waiting for a loading screen to load the game, to wait for another fucking loading screen. The OS can't load the game? So the developers have to create a new loading screen to make the OS work properly because they're fixing things that the developers of the OS couldn't fix? Oh. That's what you should call that. Because again, it doesn't make any sense. Why would a game do that? It wouldn't help them. It wouldn't make their game look good. They would combine it with one bar. The whole point is, this is like, crap, this is happening, we have to do something. So they do a shaders compilation. And it's like, you know, like the whole point is like, that's a fix from the developers. It shouldn't need to do that. The OS should be able to just, you know, it just loads the game, you're fine. Just as you would expect a console to do. You know, like loading bars that say like jokes and stuff like that. They don't say what they're really doing. It's just like a joke. It's almost like that. It's almost like they took that concept and went, Actually make people wait a really long time. And just make up a reason why. Oh man.
Nothing to poach in errand shirts have spun.
Bingo!
You dast! They want to...
Incendio!
The beasts are safer now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, basically. I agree. Modern games, I agree. Like, modern games do feel so unoptimized. And a lot of it's that, where you have this competitorship going on, where it's that cutthroat. It's literally just the competitor seeing streamers playing on a PC or something like that. It's terrible. And you know, like, obviously they don't want people to know how good it looks under certain parameters, because then you'll go buy that and do that. And they're just like trying really hard to lie about it and break it. Yeah, I mean, that's Microsoft for you. They didn't used to be like that. Used to be a good company. But, you know, America used to be great, too. Yeah. It's almost as if somebody's doing the opposite of everything they've ever promised. It's almost like that. It's almost like, you know, like, instead of making it great, you know, because again, it was already great. It's almost as if, you know, they just really took a huge dump on it. It's almost like that. Yeah, if I have... The problem is... That's why, like, I have to hide stuff. If they sit here and they know what I do, they'll break this feature, they'll break this feature, they'll disable a feature from working, they'll make... Even if I check it or something, they'll make sure, like, checking it, unchecked... Like, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna cause these things to just break. So that's why I sit here. You guys have to understand, like, the scammer is gonna say behind the scenes, oh, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? You know, like, they're gonna, like, flat out, it's literally because they're doing that, like, obviously. So, clearly, as I notice that certain things start breaking that are working, that should work, obviously I'm going to, not show them how it works. Clearly I'm going to sit here and try to hide that if they're breaking it, obviously.
I haven't slept well for ages. I miss my pillow from home. What? Nothing wrong with it.
He's like, what? They finally loaded.
My parents visited the school once. All I can say is thank Merlin it's against school policy to let me.
Hello, more.
Why do students always frown? Peace should burn the castle down. Nice and warm.
Where is... Ah! I hit the Elden Ring button. There's Ravenclaw. I thought so. I'm just trying to remember, like, everything on this one. There's Griffin. Okay. Obviously the common rooms are gonna be in different places. You know, they really did the castle, I think, as accurate as they could. And frankly, it's awesome. Frankly. Frankly. Give me a moment. I gotta go to the bathroom again. I know. Crazy. It's all the, Gatorade. All right. I definitely like the common room. So cool.
My brother.
What do we got here? Oh, right. Let's do some extra stuff. I could do... I like these. I like the astronomy tables. I could do one of those. Let's fast travel near it. The astronomy tables are fun.
An astronomy table. Should prove useful once the sun's down.
Was that a hippogriff? Oh, hold on. Hold on, let me grab this.
Professor Howard will never believe this.
Okay. Okay, astronomy table time.
Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark.
Draco! Cool. So yeah, the astronomy tables are pretty great. I mean, there's a lot of really cool extra stuff that you got to do. Yep. 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 You gotta love that. Let's grab some flu flames.
This place has seen better days.
Oh, there's something here. I can do this. Do this too. Footrests? There might be one that does. I'll have to look. There's a lot of different designs and styles. There might be some that do. Unless you've already looked at them and know that. Because there are a lot of different styles. I could check the and see, because I have a lot of them on my main character. Come on. Oh, hold on. I know how I'm gonna do this.
Revelio.
There it is.
That wasn't too hard.
Did you know you could do that? You can cast Revelio on your broom, by the way.
Revelio.
Pretty useful because, you know, obviously I can find all this stuff doing that. I think I have to go through one of these to get to that. I think. But maybe not. Well, alright, not this one. This one's right here. Oh, okay, yeah, so is that one. Oh. Did I pick it? Oh, I did pick it up, okay. Yeah. Hold on. Ah, I just need more slots. Hold on. What is that under? Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're probably right. That sounds right. Thanks. I forget that sometimes.
Lumos.
Okay, so let me just remember where this is. Okay, I know where it is. I have to come back here. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna go sell some stuff and come back here. Is this a town? This is a town. Let's go here. There may be a vendor here. If not, I'll just go somewhere else. Immediately in combat. Okay. There is a vendor over here.
Hello. Do you have a moment?
Yes, but just the one, I'm afraid. Running the shop keeps me rather busy. I'm
Just
the
the
new
one.
proprietor, Indira Wolf.
What do you have for sale?
Exactly what I needed. Thank you.
Once you have the item, you've collected the appearance, so like a lot of times it doesn't really matter as long as it's not better than what you got, you know. But that's enough space
Thank
for
you
now.
for your business. Hope you'll come and see me again.
There's a bunch of stuff here. Alright, let me get this. Oh, okay. I'm not on combat anymore.
Revelio.
No, I will be now.
Wonder who lives here.
Now, if I get too much stuff here, I won't have space for the thing that I didn't get. So let me just see. Is there a page? Looks like there's a page. Something. What is this? I think there's a page here.
Revelio.
Alright. So let me, yeah, like I said, I can get the stuff here, but I need to pick up the stuff over here that I didn't get first. Oh! Let's do this too. The landing platform. Oh, I do? I have Merlin Challenge collections. Oh, I totally forgot all about this. I always forget to do this. Yeah, I think some of them actually do have footrests. They're just hard to see. I think this one does. Like, see how it like sticks out on the side? I think that's a footrest. I think the idea is you dangle one foot for stability while the other one. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't put both feet up because you would instantly flip over. You know what I mean? Like I would assume that it requires magic. You know, like you're stabilizing your body with magic, so you would need. I would assume, you know, like that's the idea. Is that that's how that works? So. Cool. What the heck is this? Do you see this data corruption? Do you see this? I can't click it. It's all in black and white. Do you see the data corruption? They're trying to break the game. Do you see it? And then the bitrate shifts around instantly. The very second I point it out. Interesting, isn't it? How interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that happen. Never. I have never seen that happen in the game. So again, just new glitches that they're causing. You know, and Microsoft's just allowing it. You see it live. Microsoft just allows it. Again, their trash system is allowing this to happen. It is. Yeah, like stuff like that. That's framework shit. A lot of this stuff is framework shit.
This could prove.
So, this is the Flu Flame. Let me grab this and then we'll head back. Alright. Oh, there's a spot there. Hang on. Cool. So I go like there somewhere. Oh, yeah, I'm just like right here.
Ravenia.
Okay. Now I have it. Yeah. And all they're doing right now, like some of these things that you see, they know that they're in trouble. So what they're doing is they're live, like you see some of this stuff, they're live confirming that it is their fault. Like you have to realize that that's what a lot of times they're doing. They're sitting here trying to make those parameters, and all it's doing is confirming, yep, it is in fact their fault. And so like alright, so like some of those clouds in the distance there, you can see like all a little pixelated, not loading properly. The game doesn't normally do that. Again, like if it compiles the shaders as they designed it to do, as it clearly skipped that step, it's having all these issues. I heard something open. Oh, this is Jackdaw's tomb. That's why. I remember this. This is definitely like... some of this story was like really cool. It was like really good. They did a good job with a lot of this stuff. This really good story.
Stop right there.
Ravenia.
How dare you?
No! You'll have to fight eventually.
a troll, you. No one takes one of my own.
Revelio. Alohomora.
Hey, Trash Tube, why are you shifting the bitrate around maliciously? Why are you doing that?
Revelio. Revelio.
Pay for that. Real quick, don't go.
Here I find this. Learned that in first year, did ya? Is that the best you've got? Oh, what's the night? Send me
Revelio.
My dream. It's been ages since I found it.
Confringo!
What's that? I'll check your pockets after you're dead. Stop flitting around like a billywig! You're burning like...
Alohomora. Revelio. There. I'm not going to hurt you. Revelio.
So, I got some stuff to do, guys. I got some stuff to do. And, we got some weirdness going on. So you guys know the deal. We got weirdness going on. I gotta take care of some, documentation and whatnot. You know, the usual thing. So, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna end the stream. I know you guys like hanging out and watching the streams, but I have to take care of some things, so I gotta end it at some point. But I do appreciate the ones that like my streams and like watching. Thanks to Andy for being on chat. Thank you, everybody. Heading out. Thanks for the views, for watching, for waiting, and hope everybody's doing well. See you guys.